And we are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Crypto Crow. It is 10:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And a few things that I'm going to discuss today. Uh, First thing that we're going to go over a little bit is the current Bitcoin price. Still ultimately trending sideways on a weekly chart. Nothing extravagant going on there. Looking at Ethereum has been pretty much sideways, but I mean, this is a 15-minute chart. As you know, I've been working with BitGet, which is basically my sponsor ultimately through the month of November. And I'm working on some trades. And so it's actually been pretty interesting so far. I put out a video yesterday about an indicator strategy that actually it looks pretty solid, and ultimately it appears to be working fairly well. There was so back here was about when I was doing the video, and looking here, I basically noted an entry and I created a line, and the line went away, but I basically created an entry here and it did go down. So it would have been a short entry here, and it worked its way down, which was now I wasn't able to make the trade because I was having connection issues, which I'm realizing is going to be a real problem for me, being given my situation with the internet here. But anyway, that was about 0.76% on a 3x trade. That would have been decent, nothing extravagant. And then we turned around back to the upside and ultimately blew past where we were before we got a long trigger. And then when we did get the long trigger, which when the price changes green, you get the green candle, you got the green histogram, and then that reversed. So this has basically been kind of trading back and forth, almost opposite the indications for a little while. And after going long, I mean, it dropped quite a bit before it went red. We didn't get any indicator triggers from here, and then it went back up. Now, granted, if you were playing the indicator, it would have came down and went right back up, and it probably didn't trigger because for whatever reason, it knew it was going to go back up, and it did. And then we finally got a reversal trigger here, which would have ultimately taken us back to about where we started, in which case we would have been able to get a good shorting opportunity. But then again, no trigger back up as it came back up. So it's like what's happening in the market right now is very much, if you're scalping and setting stop losses, you're making trades. If you're trying to scalp and you're entering trades without stop loss, you're just basically watching this go up and down and you're not getting much out of it. On a 15-minute chart, that's kind of to be expected because the volatility in crypto is a real thing. So, it's looking good. But here's the thing. And I said this, the other day, I said, listen, I think we're going to go up a little bit more this week. And then likely by Friday, we're probably going to see a significant downturn. And I'm seeing articles that are basically talking about, the price is, we're turning around. There's bull sell sentiment that, we might be getting ready for a big bull rally. And I'm like, what? So here's the thing, and I want to address this a little bit before I get into the news and some of the other stuff that I have going on that I want to share. Here's the thing. Everybody wants a bull market, okay? Obviously, everybody wants a bull market. And here's the thing too. We noticed in the last bull market, you know what? I'm going to show this. I'm going to show this because I think that, maybe not, you're even privy to this. So this is Bitcoin on a weekly chart, right? Now, some of you guys will notice, and I've talked about this in the past, this white line here is basically a bars pattern of the 2003, 2004, and so on NASDAQ market. Okay. So when on April 13th, when I called the peak of the market. A lot of people are like, oh, you used the pi cycle top oscillator, and that doesn't mean it's always right just because it's been right. It wasn't just about that. It was about what I was seeing in the 2003 NASDAQ charts. The reason why There are so few people. I don't really know of anybody that called a two peak market the way I did. And I did it on the day of the peak. So some people are patting themselves on the back saying, I called the bull market. I called the peak of the bull market. Okay, cool. How many of those people called the two peak market and basically said, as I did on Twitter, this is the first peak, and then we're going to have another one, right? And I was calling for a two peak market long before even the first one. And there were so many differences in the way that bull market peak was structured and was set up. And nobody was talking about that. Nobody was talking about that. So, while some people can say, whatever they want, at the time, everybody was trolling me on Twitter, basically, trying to pretend like I was trying to dump the market because I wanted this, I wanted that, as if I have that kind of control. It's insane. But if you look at the price action of the NASDAQ and how similar it is to what's been happening in this bear market now, it's very much similar. Now, this is showing, and keep in mind too, that when I pulled this bars pattern, and this was spread over many, many years. Okay. I had to condense this. I had to bring in the time frame quite a bit just to get it to a point where it's like, okay, this would show us at a peak of April in 2027 at somewhere around $321,000. This is the way the NASDAQ market went. Now, why do I also think this is relevant? And why did I think this was relevant back then? Well, for one, because as institutions come into the crypto space, and a lot of these like Wyckoff distribution accumulation traders and a lot of these people that are coming from a completely different world, they're bringing their expertise, their trading prowess, their strategies, their expectations. Not only that, but it's turning more once we introduce the futures and derivatives markets into the crypto space, and we're basically making it like Wall Street. Okay, we're making it like these traditionally traded stock markets, and so it's starting to act more and more like them, which is why I think we had a two peak market, because it was ultimately the balance between what was known to be expected in the crypto market versus how the market was changing to adapt to the ways a lot of these institutional investors and traders were reacting to things. So we kind of got a blend of both worlds. Now, I think that we're very likely going to see a big difference in how this bull and bear market works from now on. It may not be solely focused around the halving. Now, I believe that our price action is going to continue moving sideways for a while and then probably start to peak up and start in an uptrend somewhere around August of 2023. That's what I think. And until then, I think we're going to go down. Now, we've also seen that in significant pumps in the NASDAQ market in the same time frames, that's when the crypto markets dumped quite a bit. Basically saying, hey, maybe we follow this to the upside, but I don't think so yet. I think that if the traditional stock market gets a big pump around that time frame, it's likely that crypto may dump in that same time frame. So we'll have to see. Does it match, or does the crypto market work in the opposite trajectory of the traditional markets? This is a big test right here. This is what I'm waiting to see from here. So as we continue to move sideways from here, we get closer to the halving, which is going to be April of 2024, towards the end of April. Maybe it spills into May or March, sorry. And, May, sorry. And we'll see what happens. But ultimately, I think in the short term, is we're getting a little bit of a pump and we're going to continue moving down. I still just don't believe that we've bottomed officially yet. And some people are trying to put this hopium out there to say, well, my phone just keeps going off. Okay, of course, it's my wife. When I go live, my wife loves to blow me up. God love her, but ding, ding, ding. So anyway, she's going to the gym. Cool. Love you too. So anyway, short-term price action, I believe, is still going to go down. I am not going to be content until I see the price dip below 10,000 in Bitcoin. And then I'll start saying, okay, we're either at or very, very much near a bottom. But I don't see that happening in the short term unless this becomes our bottom, unless we bottom out maybe in February of 2023. That could very much be the case. We bottom out in February, then we go sideways for a while, and then we start our ascendance into the next halving, which maybe, according to this, we might be somewhere around $45,000 by the next halving, and then away we go. Maybe we get a little immediate dip after the halving, and then we start to take off into the next bull market, which is when things are going to get really exciting. But short term, I'm not sold on a bottom. And so that's just kind of where I'm at. And any sentiment you want to bring to the table isn't going to change much. Now, let's get into some other stuff that I think you guys should know. 118 of you, maybe you don't like my title. Cardano market cap grows by over $1 billion in 24 hours. And this all looks good. It all looks cool, right? And there's cool stuff going on Cardano all over the place. And I'm gonna show you some statistics here. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing right now with Soblocks, and because we just, I'll just show you that in a minute. At press time, according to tracking from CoinGecko, the digital asset is trading at 40 cents. It increased its value by 6.4% for the past 2 weeks and has trimmed its 30-day losses to 9.2 cents. And this all looks good, man. You know, is it good to buy ADA now? I'm waiting. I'm waiting to buy more. But this is saying bearish signal indicators narrowly outnumbered bullish ones 17 to 16. Still, with this development, sentiment towards the asset is favoring the bears. The bears. A deep dive at Cardano oscillators reveals a neutral score of 8. One was pointing towards the buy direction, while 2 were headed to the sell zone. However, by law of moving averages, the crypto managed to stay on the buy range, hinting that this might be a good time to start accumulating the altcoin. And I would agree. I've already started accumulating, so it's all good. From here, it's just a matter of how much do I average down. But I cannot for the life of me see, a 33-cent Cardano being the cheapest we're going to get. I would really like to see somewhere in the 20s, 20 cents something, 20 cents, 23, 25. That's when I'm probably going to make another accumulation buy and average my price down. But, when that comes, I don't know. But a lot of people want to lead everybody to think, hey, we're going to get this big bull run coming. No, we're not getting a bull run in a bear market where everything's bearish. The world is bearish. The world is in pandemonium. We're not going to pump up. Now, I see this comment. Let's take a look at this real quick. And I caught it before I started going up. Melt up until midterms, dump and then melt up until Christmas. Agree with new uptrend mid next year's until halving, then more parabolic with large drawdowns to make doubt. Peak end of January 2024. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I've seen people on TikTok and I've seen people on other platforms talking about a melt up theory, and maybe cool. If that's the case, good. I've already started to average in, but this is also a good point. Before I get into some of this other stuff, this is also a good point because, some people, they say, when's the bet? Like a friend of mine, sweetest guy in the world. And he's always blowing me up. He's like, hey, I've got a limit order. Is this going to be good? Where's the price going to go? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm holding out. I'm holding off. I've already accumulated a sum at around 50 cents, knowing it was going to go lower, but it's not the point. My entry price is not necessarily about getting the absolute best price right now in this bear market, because anything could happen. And so if the sky were to fall tomorrow and something happens to the effect that crypto is the end all be all now, some big regulation comes down the pipe and says, listen, we're getting rid of the US dollar as you know it. We're going to a FedNow token or like whatever could happen. Anything that could drive the market up, I want to be there for. And to me, it's kind of a hedge. Even though everything is coming down, I believe that the progress Cardano is making on a grander scale is going to far outweigh a lot of the limitations that we're seeing in traditional markets, in the news, and politics, and global agendas, and all of this stuff. So I'm comfortable having started averaging in at a higher price. That's okay. I will continue to average down as we move down. But if something does turn around, I want to be there for it. And so that's just the thing. You never know with 100% certainty what's going to happen. And the way the world is changing, the way the markets are changing, the way they're becoming more and more like one, I don't know how that's going to affect the market short term. So regardless of what happens, if it sends the market down, I want to accumulate and average my price down. If it goes up, then I will have to accumulate more at a certain point and average my price up. But either way, I've gotten in at a pretty decent position considering the high was over $3. Getting back in at 50 cents is pretty good. So reasons why Cardano holders should be content and happy. This is some good stuff. So 834 commits pushed across 53 repos. This is GitHub development. 136 on Mithril, 86 commits on Hydra. Whoops. 80 or 65 on Cardano wallet, 63 on Cardano node, 60 or 51 on Cardano ledger. That's pretty good, because typically what do you see in a bear market? Oh, you're not even seeing this. Sorry. Let me just show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is on Twitter, Cardano updates. If you're not following it, you might want to. I don't think I was. Oh my goodness. Now you can follow them. Okay. Now I'm following Cardano updates. I don't know how I didn't. The Cardano developers recently posted their weekly update that mentioned a few notable pieces of information, including the launch of Daedalus 5.10. According to Input Output Global, Daedalus is a download-only full node wallet for Linux, Mac, and Windows PCs, and it takes forever to sync. I really like Lace Wallet. I really like Lace, and I'm very curious to see what comes of that, because I want to use it. I want to play with it. If you're a part of the Lace team or anybody, reach out to me, please. I'd love to try it. Not only the Daedalus 5.10 update, but other updates were also revealed. For instance, native tokens in the Cardano ecosystem reached 6.4 million. 6.4 million native assets on the Cardano blockchain, with 52 million transactions. Developers also revealed that progress was made on the backup and restoring functionality of the Hydra node. Oh yeah, baby. Hydra is my bread and butter, man. That's what I'm waiting for. That is truly what I'm waiting for. And there are a lot of other cool things coming down the pipe, but Hydra is where I'm like, yeah, now we're getting for real here. So if we take a look at some of the weekly development reports, this was out October 21st of 2022. Ongoing work on the UTXO HD and Genesis development, Daedalus version 5.10 released, and Lace Explorer's beta program announced. Okay, I want to be a part of that. Marlow runtime functionality improved. Good. Progress made on the backup and restoring functionality of the Hydra node. And Project Catalyst is preparing for Fund 10, which I really want to get Soblox into. I really, really do. 103 projects have been launched on Cardano this month. 6.4 million native tokens. 3,523 Plutus scripts. 1,122 different projects are being built on Cardano right now. Mine's one of them. I've got a couple. I don't even know if they're registered in this. 63,531 token policies and 52.4 million total number of transactions. Boom. While all these developments took place, ADA's price action gave investors hope for better days to come as it registered an unprecedented surge over the last week. I will also tell you, I'm going to be putting out a video tomorrow. It's already scheduled for tomorrow. Make sure you watch it all the way through, because I'm telling you right now, there's a project, and I've talked about it in the past. There is a project that, to me, has gotten me as excited as I was when I first discovered Cardano back in December 2017 and started talking about it against all the FUD and against all the naysayers. I was reading everything I could. I have forgotten more about Cardano than most people will probably ever know. And that's straight up truth. And because sometimes I read stuff, I'm like, oh, I knew that. Oh yeah, I read that like years ago. Oh, and it's like, I forget, my retention isn't the greatest because I'm always bombarding myself with new stuff. I'd probably forget, honest to God, I forget holidays like crazy. Sometimes I'll even forget my birthday. It's just how it is. But hopefully my testosterone replacement therapy will help with that. According to CoinMarketCap, ADA's price increased by over 12% in the last 7 days. And at the time of writing, it was trading at 40 cents with a market cap of over 13.8 billion. Investors can't expect more. I'm reading this as at an angle, just so you know where my monitors are. Apart from the aforementioned developments, ADA also topped the list and was ranked number 1 in terms of Lunar Crush's alt rank, which is a major bullish signal. All right. So obviously you see this big pump in ADA, but to me, it doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot. I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't mean anything to me right now. This move on ADA is strong. I mean, everybody's trying so hard to build all this hopium, but I just feel it's temporary. But it's cool. It's good to see positive headlines about what's going on. Lunar Crush's data also revealed that ADA was among the top cryptos on October 25th in terms of social engagement. This hinted at the alt's increased popularity in the crypto community. A look at ADA's on-chain metrics also painted a similar bullish picture, as several of them were in ADA's favor. You know what? I'm going to make this little statement here about Cardano as well, because if you notice how crazy everything's been the last couple years, I feel like you've got one side that's more like the Solana of the world, and then you've got the other side that's more like the Cardano side. You've got the one that's like kind of hard facts, hard metrics, hard development, real decentralization, real, everything. And then you got the other side that's basically a bunch of smoke and mirrors and kind of crazy narratives and accusations out the wazoo, trying to protect and defend itself and like always on the attack, and you know what I mean? And you're seeing a lot of this kind of transition now into a lot of people waking up to the reality of the situation. Like, it's not all a bed of roses as we've been sold. It's not all kind of as it was sold or as it was meant to appear. And people are starting to see through it, right? They're starting to see the man behind the curtain in The Wizard of Oz. And they're realizing, okay, things aren't going well. This narrative I was bought into isn't really helping my life get better. It's making it significantly worse, and I don't like it. And I feel like that's also kind of happening in the crypto space as it relates to Cardano and some of these other projects. These narratives, these well-funded narratives have been established in the crypto space to create this tribalism that has basically pushed a lot. I mean, think about it. When you think about the press and you think about crypto media, well, what do you think about? Well, I think about these authors, these writers who basically they put out this content in favor of whatever their biggest bags are, and they either don't mention at all, like the biggest competitor with the most realistic milestones, the most like, I don't know, just everything is so much better than it seems or than it's being portrayed. And I feel like, where have I seen this before? And so I feel like I'm very much on the right side of the fence when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And, I mean, it is what it is, but I feel like I'm seeing through, and a lot of people are waking up, and they're going to continue waking up, because as we continue to move through this this bear market cycle, we're going to see a lot more activity on Cardano, a lot more projects. I still want to be the first. I still very much want to be the first social media application on Cardano. And for those of you guys, I'm going to go ahead and link this in chat. We have put out the means for our NFT governance tokens. Now, let me paste this. You can, there's a link in the chat now. And we are getting ready to, so we've got our Q4, our development roadmap and things. These are the 3 different versions of the NFTs. And you can actually get your NFTs right here. You can mint them. I need to have Jason change that. There are only 500 of these. Okay. There are only going to be 500 of these governance NFTs. The light paper will be put out tonight. Okay. So bookmark this link if you're interested. But basically what's going to happen is we have a whole nother system that's going to allow people with these governance NFTs to vote on what's happening next, the next layer of development. Ultimately, the goal for SoBlocks, SoBlocks is basically short for social blocks, social blockchain blocks. Okay. Yeah, I know I'm genius. I can't help it. No, I'm just kidding. But it's still in very, very early development right now, but I know some big pushes are coming tonight. So a lot of this is going to change tonight. And so much is going to be happening with this. I've got BitBoy Ben, a good friend of mine. He's actually going to be going through. He's going to be reading the light paper and things tonight, because he's got some big projects, and I'm hoping there's some cohesion, some opportunities to partner. I've reached out to some other companies about potential partnerships because of things. Let's just say I had a really cool talk last night with Cornucopias in terms of what we can do with SoBlocks as it relates to Cornucopias. I would just say I would love for people to be able to access their SoBlocks accounts from within the Cornucopias world. Not saying it's going to happen, but that's a goal. That's something that I'd like to see happen, and it's absolutely possible. So, yeah, this is that. There are only 500 of these. I think they're like 400 ADA. Okay. And this is ultimately, these are not going to get anybody a return. Like you're not going to get free tokens. You're not going to get anything like that with these. Okay. Because they, obviously that would classify them as security somehow, I'm sure. And we don't want any of that. What this does is there are going to be perks and benefits associated with just these governance tokens. They're very, very limited at only 500. You can get them. I think they're like 400 ADA, and you're going to be able to use these to access sections of SoBlocks that aren't going to be open to the general public. You're going to be able to make decisions for what comes and what happens on SoBlocks, and some other things that we're not going to announce yet. But yeah, get involved. Because I really want governance token holders and Murder of Crow holders to be kind of like the decision makers, the beta testers, the everything. And when this new rollout happens tonight, you're going to see a lot of changes come, all for the better. And you're going to see the friend system. I'm going to get on Discord. I'm going to be answering questions, let everybody know, hey, check it out, because I know we've had quite a few people register already. They're just waiting for approval so they can start working on their profiles and things, and ultimately start creating groups and things like that. I've already created a bunch of groups. I'm probably going to create more, and I'd like to see those start to get active. You see the SoBlocks governors. This is only going to be accessible at some point if you have one of the governance NFTs. Basically a chat group is all that is. So on that note, let's go ahead and take a look at chat and see what kind of questions may have popped up. And hopefully you guys can, as you start to see me updating people on SoBlocks and you see what's coming and how things are taking shape, partnerships that we announce and so forth, I think you guys will be pretty excited. And then hopefully we'll start getting some governors in place to start helping with things, because I'd like to have some other things too. I wouldn't mind having some of the governors on and rotating governors out in live streams, on the channel, and just a lot of fun stuff that I really want people involved. I want to share. And when you read the light paper tonight, you're going to know everything about the goals for SoBlocks, kind of like what we have planned for development to launch the base functionality of the platform, what it means, how it's going to operate, and all of that. And all of this is basically in preparation to launch a Project Catalyst submission, because it's expensive to do this. I can't do it forever on my own. I just don't have the resources, especially in a bear market. So yeah, this is basically all trying to get the help we need to kind of take things to the next level here. But I want it to a place where we have a social media platform. It works. Everything's there, right? It's running. People can use it. But this is how we get to the next level, because I don't want it to, I don't want to not offer anything. All right, heading to work, listening to Jason. Good start to the day. P.S. Gay for Crow. Well, thank you, Adam. Crow is my long trigger. I don't even know what that means. Is there a pun there after the first? I'm not sure, Adam, but it's always good to see you, man. Uh, Jason, always there. Love it. You keep creating videos, no matter if it's a bear market. Very much appreciated. Thank you, man. And I don't know what it is about the bear market, but it's like I was very active in the last bear market, and I was trying to lay the groundwork for everybody to kind of lay a foundation for what was coming. And then the market peaked. And as it was peaking, I just kind of checked out. I was like, my job is done. Everybody's going to do really well. And I was looking at the market, and I was looking at the projects I was most fond of through the bear market. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, people are going to do really well. And yeah, and I see the fruit of that. But the bear market is where you build your channel. Or the bull market is where like the bear market is where you build applications and friends and all that kind of stuff. But it's the bull market where you actually build YouTube viewers. And I completely checked out. So I'm seeing all these other YouTubers. They're not like 250,000, 500,000, 1 million subscribers. And I've been stagnant at like 130 something thousand for a year and a half, 2 years. And a part of me is wondering, like, is it because I just didn't go live every day because I kind of checked out? I really wish I wouldn't have done that, but I was dealing with a lot. I mean, the move to Puerto Rico was not easy. There was so much transition. Then I had the vertigo for 2 months, and it was just like one thing after another. And I felt like I was kind of just getting beat up at every turn. And I want to try and not do that. I would love to be live every day between now and the peak of the next market and really just, I don't know. And then maybe right off to the end of the sunset after that, everybody that follows me much better in life than they were before they found me. And we all have like one big, huge party. So, we'll see. That's always been my goal, because at some point when I've created a whole bunch of millionaires out in the world, I would love to just have a big party and meet each and every one of you guys. Like, I just think that I would. I don't know why I'm getting a little choked up. I just think that would be absolutely amazing. I really do. And I'm such a loner, guys. You don't understand. I really am a loner. Like, outside of my wife, I don't really have many friends. I don't really do much. I hardly ever leave the house. And I'm just always working, always grinding, always trying to accomplish things, always trying to do things. Yeah, man, like, just, I don't know, having a big bash full of a bunch of people, kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It just feels good. I look forward to that. You are going to regret trading this volatile sector. If you're using leverage, you're going to get destroyed, guaranteed. I thought you were smarter than that. Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility for sure. And there are times like this when the market seems very indecisive. I haven't made a trade yet. I haven't announced a trade. I've announced where I wanted to make a trade and how that would have played out, but I haven't made a trade yet because I'm waiting for the market to get more. I feel like we're in an indecisive place right now because we're in between like a big downtrend. We're getting this little uptick this week, and I think we're going to start going back down, and I'm going to go back to shorts until we bottom out. And then I plan on making some trades, and I plan on using BitGet when I do it. So it is what it is. And yeah, 3x leverage is really not that much, but it enables you to magnify. Even if you're trading with a little money, it enables you to earn a little bit more than you otherwise would without significant risk. And here's the other side to this stuff. There's a gal by the name of Trade Travel Chill. I follow her on TikTok. She's all about market makers and following market maker trends, not necessarily the trends of the retail market, but what are the market makers doing? And she is so stinking good. I mean, so stinking good. And every video she does is so good. I love her. She's from Australia. If you see her, you'll know she's got like white hair. She's a young gal, but she's got white hair. I think it's a style thing. I don't know. I think she's young. Anyway, she looks young. Maybe it's Aussie water. I don't know. She could be 40, but I think she's probably in her 20s, maybe. But she's super, super, super good at what she does. I will have her on this channel at some point. And I started following some of her courses because I want to learn more about the market maker method. And apparently she credits Jacob, was it Jacob Stanfield? I can't remember now. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. And he was a big trader, man. And he was a super wicked smart guy. And he had this system. It was all about market makers. And that's what he traded on. But somebody caught something that he did on Twitter, and it just sent him into this downward spiral where he just said, hell with it, I'm done. And man, was that not good for the space, because he was a smart guy, and he might have made, I think it evolved around him talking about, so he would make a trade, maybe he'd make a trade for $1,000, but he would make it look like he was trading with much more money. And I think it was something to that effect. He was doing everything he was saying he was doing, if I remember correctly, but he was making it appear to be done with a lot more money. And somebody caught it somehow and outed him, so to speak. And it just basically created this whole air of, this guy's full of it. But he wasn't full of it. I mean, I've met him several times and I've talked with him. Doing what he did was stupid and unnecessary, but it doesn't take away the fact that he knew what the hell he was doing. So I would really like Jacob Canfield. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's who I was thinking. It just popped in my head. Cardano is going to change minds over the coming years. Patience, 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 which is exactly the reason why I titled this video. You're going to wait and you're going to be happy, right? This is my own World Economic Forum agenda slogan for Cardano. You're going to wait and you're going to be happy. And that's what it boils down to. James Taylor's in the house. What's going on? Crota Man. All right. Morning, sir. You nailed it on ATB. Thank you, Tanker. You know me. I just call it how I see it. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Caught you live. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're live with me. Hopefully my stream is okay. I feel like anytime I go live, I'm only ever seeing one bar on my connection channel. This strategy is very similar to something I have and am seeing very similar structures. Great to see new views and strategies. Keep up the great work. Yeah, and I'm researching other strategy setups and things. I'm going to be doing additional videos, and that'll likely become a whole series, because not every indicator setup or strategy will work the same for different people, right? To me, I have so many different indicators and I played with so many different things over the years that I still struggle setting my mind on one particular thing. And for me, confluence amongst a lot of different things builds that confidence in having as an accurate a trade as you could probably get in such a volatile, crazy market. And so I'm always on the prowl. I'm always looking for, because I plan on getting a lot more active in trading. And, I like my partnership with BitGet, and my guy that I talk to him pretty frequently, and he's pretty cool. And it's not a lot of money, but it's helping to pay some bills in the bear market. And I'm like, let's get active at trading, because I know a lot of you guys out there like to trade and you like to learn stuff. And so do I. So eventually I'm going to come up with my own definitive system. But in the meantime, I'm going to share my experience as I continue to push forward. Not telling anybody, hey, you should do this. It's just, hey, if you're doing this, maybe experiment with this a little, even if it's just paper trading. You know what I mean? Until you get confident. It's all you can do. It's what I do. Hey, brother, how's it going? How's the book working for you? I'm not sure what book you're referring to. Are you talking about the Crypto Decoded or one of the Klaus Schwab books I've been reading? Like, I don't know. I've got so many books open all over the house, man. Whatever room I'm in, I just grab one if I've got a down minute and I read a little bit. And then I move on. So you have to narrow that down. I think I'm reading like 5 or 6 different books right now. I don't know anything about Streamer Inu. I've never heard of it. My cousin Alex, always in live chat. What's going on, brother? Good to see you as usual. Hello, Ty, Theo. Okay, this is a continuation of the original comment. Ada and Kopi. You're going to want to tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow's video is going to be really fun. I mean, it's pretty cool. I've done something a little different than I normally do, and but I think it's going to open some eyes. I think it's pretty good. Man, why is everybody pretending to know when the markets are going up and down? Nobody knows. Wow, you must be new, because I tend to know pretty accurately. What about World Mobile Token? I've got some. I like it. I'm still with it. And as a matter of fact, let me know in the comments below. Don't do it in super chat because I may or may not see it. But in the comments below, let me know what Cardano-based projects you want me to look into, because I am working on a new metric system. I want to start doing project reviews again, not necessarily paid segments, but project reviews where I'm going in and I'm trying to create a system that is more accurate than the ones I was doing back in 2017, 2018, to get a really good gauge or guesstimate, because you can't. Here's the thing about projects and what I'm trying to do. When I'm reviewing a project, I can't take into account somebody's mindset, right? Now, you can look at a project and you can look at the team and you can say, oh, well, this individual's accomplished XYZ. They should be great. Well, Alex Mashinsky taught me even that isn't fail proof, right? You can think, oh, well, this person's the voice over IP patent holder and he's a freaking genius and he's accomplished all this stuff and he's doing this to help the world. And then boom, you got Celsius Network and how that has turned out. And it's like, okay, back to the drawing board. That isn't even necessarily an indicator of long-term stability and growth, because the crypto market as a whole is such a risky business. If you're investing in the crypto space at all, you've got to know that absolutely anything can happen with any project. And it doesn't matter who's out there telling you this is great, that's great, this looks good, and this is why, and all this other shit. You never know 100% what the overall outcome is going to be to any given project. The majority of the crypto projects in the space are going to fail. That's all there is to it. They're going to fail. You're going to have so many more failures in the crypto space right now than you're ever going to have big booming moon runs, okay? In a bull market, you can almost throw a dart, and in a bull market, a lot of crypto projects rise. The majority, if not all, crypto projects rise at least a little bit, some a good amount, some a hell of a lot. It's not necessarily, but at the same time, it's understanding or getting a pretty decent idea as to the market cycles and understanding when the peaks are in and when is a good time to exit those positions. If you're trading based off of long-term technological advancement projections, like this project's going to take over the world, and in the meantime, I want to hold its token because I just want to wait and see, then maybe you don't sell at the first peak. But I'm telling you, when you don't sell, you're going to ride that. I did it. I still have projects from 2017 I invested in. I still have the tokens. Most of them aren't worth shit, okay? And at the time, they were fundamentally sound. They were super strong team, strong metrics, the whole nine. But the best way to really understand whether a project is going to stand the test of time and outlast the FOMO of its initial inception and launch during a bull market is how it performs in a bear market. Its development cycle, is it still meeting milestones on a consistent basis through a bear market where, like me, okay, I'm a prime example. As a YouTuber, it's much easier for me to be productive in a bull market because the views are up, the money's good, you get more paid segments, everybody's trying to spread the word of their latest project or whatever. So you're making more money. It's easier for you to live. It's easier to stay motivated in a bull market because you've always got something that's helped paying the bills. You've got all this stuff happening for you. In a bear market like now, I've got shit. Okay. I've got one little sponsorship for the month, and that's pretty much it. That probably won't last. None of them ever do. You know what I mean? Everybody's in and out and exploring and trying different things, seeing what works and what doesn't. And that's okay. But in a bear market, there's very little incentive for me to go live right now. There virtually none, right? So it's the same with a crypto project. There's virtually no upside to being active, employing development teams and putting money out there for marketing and things for a project is going down anyway. Even Charles Hoskinson said it himself recently, I saw, where he's like, listen, it doesn't matter if we cured cancer tomorrow. With the current market sentiment, the token is still going to drop because you cannot change global sentiment based off of one news release or even a series of news release or milestone advancements or whatever. It's just not the way things work. So when you're trying to, so and ultimately the point is that I'm trying to create this new series of metrics, but if you haven't survived and continued building through a bear cycle yet, and you're inactive as a team, you're inactive as a project because it's a bear market, well, then to me, you get a shit score, because that to me is a truly defining factor as to whether or not something stands the test of time and expects to actually follow through with itself and grow or not. And, you know, because there's so many projects in a bull market that try to time everything, they pop everything out on a bull run and they make a quick buck, they exit their positions, and then you don't hear much of them or from them ever again because they just don't maintain the stability. That's why when people talk crap about Cardano, still, I'm like, you still hold a competing token that you really hope gets back to where it was when you bought it. Because that's the only sense to be made of it. Anything outside of that is completely disregarding all facts. It's disregarding all truth, all milestones, all development, all GitHub commits, all of the readily available proof and data to show that your claim is garbage and means absolutely nothing other than you trying to sway the unknowing public or newcomers to the space to buy the shit coin that you bought 3 years ago and hasn't produced or done anything, but maybe turn off every few months for whatever random reason, or has dropped significantly faster than you thought it would because people are losing sentiment, whatever it is. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is, but that's just kind of what to expect. So I am working on a new system, and I don't know how long it'll be until I'm comfortable starting to do reviews using it. I want it to be really accurate. Slayer fan with his Murder of Crows NFT and his avatar, I love it. Is the audio and video not synced for anyone else? It's not even synced for me, actually, if I'm looking at it on screen, and I'm sure it's probably because of the data stream being limited. So, and I am working on a new course that I'm gonna record. So, all right. So check out SoBlocks, get registered. Yeah, man, there's a lot of comments. I'm gonna have to read what if you've got comments, post them into the comments below. Because those really help the algorithm. Make sure you smash that like button if you will. And any comments or questions that are in super chat that I can't get to, leave them down in the comments below, and I will definitely check them out and I'll try to answer. As always, stay weary of impersonators. Congratulations to Elon Musk, who I'm pretty sure officially bought Twitter yesterday, walked into the Twitter headquarters carrying a sink. And then he tweeted it and he said, let that sink in. I'm like, dude, I love you, man. I don't know if he's an elitist insider or what, but I still love him. I do. I think what he's been doing has just been so freaking awesome. And let freedom reign, folks. Until next time, guys, crow your coins, and I'll see you again real soon.